We're back with episode 3 of the Shoe Dog podcast. There you go, number three. It's a hat trick, bro. It's a hat trick. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, we ready. How you been doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm really good. I'm really good, bro. I've been progressively putting more Fitbits on Instagram, as you see, bro. As you seen, and
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
like that.
We wore those shadows. We wore some ones. We picked up the Merino ones. Reviews coming out today, by the way, or Sunday when we record this. But Merino ones is
He got
a cop.
games. I seen you with them. He
Oh,
got games on feet too
13,
now.
13, bro. Aren't 13 just beautiful? That Black Panther, bro.
That black cat. Yeah,
Black
yeah,
cat, bro. That's what it's all about. That's what it's about. And people forget. People forget what that shoe, that design. Like every Jordan shoe, fours, five, six. It's got a specific design to it. When
yeah.
people know, it's amazing. But
It's distinct. It's such a distinct thing. You know it when you see it, and we love it for those reasons. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Every
Oh,
silhouette got different things about it that make me love
but,
it.
but by the way, those winterized fours that I got, I think they might become my beaters. Every time I want to just not wear a shoe, I might become my beater. I'm not even
You already
joking.
beat one. You already beat one.
I beat the winterized 12s. So it's only
Oh,
it's
the
only it's
12.
only
Okay.
yeah, the winterized 12s were the beaters for when I was actually going to the office. Now it's like the winterized 4s is becoming that because I've got another pair and I've got one for backup. So when I want to pull a clean pair out, so this is why I always like double up sneakers I really know I'm gonna rock. So the winterized 4s, and then, to be honest, they're out in the hallway near the door, and I'm like, I'm gonna put them on. I don't feel like putting anything special on. I'm gonna put them on quickly and I'll dash to the shop. That is becoming my beater sneaker. And that's a great sneaker to have as a beater, bro.
Yeah, not a bad beater at all. Like that might be a top beater, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. But today's show is special, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. We got our first guest on the podcast. Um, Appropriate guest to have for what he
Ooh.
brings to the table because he is Camdalf, the sneaker wizard. He is Shinron, the shoe dragon. He is the Don of Jordan ones, the starfish killer himself, ladies and gentlemen, the eBay sniper, the Virginia Tech lifer, none other than Love Big Kicks. Cam in the building. The Shoe
Damn.
Dragon.
The bro is in the building, bro. The bro is in the building. Damn, Cam, it's
Woo!
lovely
Look
to
at
get you
that
on here.
shirt. Look at that.
That
Look at that shirt, bro.
Little. I gotta wear this shirt today because this is what it's
bro,
all about right here.
yeah, exactly. This show and that top emphasizes what you're about, bro. The whole concept of Shoe Dog podcast is to get sneakers for as low as possible, and you emphasize that you're an embodiment of that, bro. And it is fantastic to get you on today because it's going to be absolutely phenomenal to go through this journey with you from where you started to where you are at this moment in time, and it's going to be amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm actually really excited.
You doing good today, Cam?
Say what? What?
You doing good today?
I mean, my hearing's not very good apparently, but yes, everything else seems to be working okay today.
Look, man, I want to hear. I know I personally want to hear your story. The way you got into sneakers, in my opinion, is one of the most fascinating stories that I heard as far as somebody's beginning in the sneaker game. And also your prior history, your history prior to Camdalf that we know today. How did it all start for you in the sneakers?
Sweet. Well, first my parents met in 1969, and then in early 1977 they had sex. And then in October 19th, 1977, I was born. So that's how it all started. Next question.
Say what?
Just kidding.
No, man. You know what I'm talking about.
What? That wasn't the answer to the question that you were hoping to have? Okay.
it was a very good answer.
Maybe I should fast forward a little bit. You know, maybe
fast
like
forward,
you know,
fast forward 18 years from that, bro.
not when I'm negative, like actually like when I'm old enough to buy sneakers for
Yeah,
myself.
yeah. We want the human being.
Okay, word. Yeah,
Not the
sperm being.
pre-human being.
Word. All right. Hopefully, there's no kids watching this. All right. So when I was a kid, just to like, and this is a little bit young, and I couldn't even tell you what they were. They could have been like kangaroos or zips or something. But I remember going through this phase where you get your old sneakers become your play sneakers, and your new sneakers becomes the ones that you wear to school, and you try to keep them clean and everything. And I remember very distinctly that I had this one pair of sneakers, and they were red, white, and blue, and I think they were kangaroos. And I had to have been maybe like 5 or 6 years old. And when they turned into play sneakers, I was sad. Like I was actually like, I love them. I would look at them and admire them, and I actually like dug them, you know. So that concept of sneakers like seemed like it came out right out of the gate. I followed trends. So even in elementary school, I had 85 Jordans in 3rd grade. Yeah, I went through the whole Converse Chuck Taylor trend. You know, I don't know if people even know this, but back in the 80s, they actually came out with a line of Chuck Taylors where they went up to your calf and then they folded down, and the fold down on the Chucks was like a different pattern or a different color or whatever. And you could the holes, the metal holes, the eyelets would fold over each other, so you could actually lace them folded over. So I mean, just to tell you like how far back it goes. So but I didn't get into like expensive shoes or anything like that until I was in middle school. All right. And this is when Nike Air drops. So my first pair of Nike Airs were actually a pair of walking shoes. Like no joke, but I liked them. They were dope. So, and they were kind of affordable. They were about $80. I had to throw in, you know, some birthday money to get them or whatever. But in 1989, this kid walks into my 7th grade class, and he's rocking all red with white highlights flights, right? And I just like saw that sneaker, and I was like mind blown. I had to own them. And of course I couldn't get them right away because my family wasn't the type of family that could run out to the store and just like cop the sneaker because, you know, their young kid felt like they wanted them or whatever. So there was this place called Jeans Plus, which was this, you know, after it leaves the Foot Locker or the Champs or whatever, this Jeans Plus place would then buy their old stock. So we always get sneakers from there. They would always be like 6 or 8 months behind, but I walk in and they have the flights, and they're all white with blue highlights, right? And that like quickly became one of my favorite sneakers. And if people are not familiar with this, I gave you kind of the story, right? It was 1989. Yeah.
Cam, are those the kangaroos?
Oh my God, dude. I have not seen those. Oh my God. Yes, those are like the first pair of sneakers I can remember loving.
Kangaroos.
If you don't know about kangaroos, they have a Velcro pocket on the side.
I had to pull out, bro, because you said the red, white, and blue, and I just looked for it, and then here comes a kangaroo with a red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
I remember kangaroos.
For those that don't know, kangaroos are they're right now. Kangaroos are at a different tier in sneakers. I see kangaroo releases here and there. I'm not sure how frequently they come, but when I see them, it's normally a premium price that comes on that release. So they're still out there and they make some dope stuff. I haven't been able to grab my size because it's crazy how fast they sell out.
Interesting.
It's crazy how fast they sell out, man.
What you're saying is I had taste like right out of the gate.
Oh yeah, bro.
For sure.
You was born with style, bro. That's what I say. You were born with style.
I was born in 82, so by the time I got around to noticing sneakers and wanting sneakers, kangaroos was gone. If it even was as big in Atlanta as it was in a lot of places. I hear people talk about kangaroos and giving them legendary status, but I can't remember them as a kid.
Yeah,
bro, the UK kangaroos were beaters. So basically, they were readily available here. So maybe it was more of a shift between the UK and the US, where it was more, it's like New Balance. New Balance has not really been a thing in the UK until like last. Maybe it's like more of a shift in you guys didn't really have kangaroos. We had a lot of kangaroos, and there wasn't that kind of trade between the UK and the EU and the States. So in reality, that's similar to what's happening with New Balance. New Balance is coming over with a surge here, so it is kind of interesting to see from different states or different countries what the kind of trends are.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Yeah, those are them. Like those are them.
Those are them.
Those are them.
Those be them. Those be them.
Those be them. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we were talking about kangaroos, and then it was the flights, right?
Yeah. So like the 1 + 1 = 2 is they were called flights, and it was 1989. So if anybody knows sneaker history, there's a retro. It's called the Flight 89, and it shares the Jordan 4 lower. So it's got the midsole and sole of a Jordan 4. Very few shoes shared their silhouette with the Nike. That actually stopped happening later on, but it was a pretty dope shoe. It's like easily one of my favorites. So going through it, I had Flight 89s, I had Jordan 5 Fire Reds in 1990. I transitioned over into those are the ones that I had were all white with blue, which they also make today. And the ones that the kid walked in with, I have those red ones right there. Actually, I have about 15 pairs of that sneaker right now.
Jeez. They're nice. They're really, really nice, to be honest. Yeah. They're very, very nice.
Yeah. That's a cool silhouette right there. It's such a cool shoe. If you guys don't rock them, actually Kanye loves his shoe. Kanye wears Flight 89s, or used to before Yeezy.
Do we really care about what Kanye wears?
I mean, I just want people to understand that, like,
nobody even knows who this guy is.
Yeah,
hell no. He's only popular to sneakerheads, right?
Word. So yeah, I wore a bunch of sneakers that people remember. I had Maestros, I had Air Raids, I had Hirachis.
Oh, Maestros.
I had let me think. What's another good one that I had? I transitioned over into shell toes in the mid 90s with everybody else during the grunge era, Adidas superstars. But then when I went to college, I started rocking Timbs. So I just like pretty much stuck to Timbs for a good amount of college, and then went back to shell toes for a bit. But basically just got out of the concept of like following the trends on sneakers and everything else. So fast forward quite a bit. So we stopped in like the mid 90s. And we come back in, and I think it's like 2008 at this point. So my daughter's not, we haven't even had any kids yet. We're in a mall in Norfolk, Virginia, which is called MacArthur. And we'll walk into a finish line, and I'm walking down the wall looking at the sneakers, and I see them. And again, I'm not following sneakers. I have no concept of retros or anything like that. And on that freaking wall is a pair of Flight 89s.
Ooh.
And interestingly enough, it is a pair of Flight 89s with orange on them.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you get to know me, like go to my Instagram or watch any of our lives or whatever, I have a favorite color.
So
we know that, bro.
so why, Cam? Why is orange your favorite color? Please let us know.
Because I am a Hokie.
Yes.
I am a Virginia Tech Hokie.
Virginia Tech lifer.
Yeah, Virginia Tech lifer, and it's orange and maroon. I already liked orange to begin with, but it just became like, unavoidable once I went to college, and orange and maroon were the colors. So I ended up.
Can we say, Cam? Can we say that you're a shoe dog when it comes to orange?
Sure.
But it's a great coincidence that orange Jordans are so great,
coveted,
and coveted, sought after.
They're very coveted.
Like the fact that your favorite color was already orange, if nobody loved the shattered backboard, you was gonna love it just because it was orange already.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Unfortunately, orange is the flavor. Orange is what, like, the shattered backboard colorway, the histrionics behind that. Everything led to that being colorway, and now it's like really hard to get. It's literally impossible. Even when we was looking for those the shattered backboard lows, they sold out. They were like, wow, they're gone. They're gone.
I still can't get my hands on them for a decent price. I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay the DS resale.
Where's the DS resale, bro?
Last time I checked, it was around 300, and I refuse to pay $300 for a Jordan 1 low if it ain't a Travis or.
I'm tempted to grab you the neutral gray 1 lows and just customize them to the
already.
I do have neutral grays.
Okay, because that's a colorway in itself. Like those shoes are amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, the neutral gray.
I haven't worn it yet. I feel like I'm holding it because it's all white. Now look, I got all white lows already, but that neutral gray, just that little bit of gray that they put in that swatch when they made that shoe, it and the materials, the Jordan 1 low triple white ain't nothing like a neutral gray as far as construction and quality.
The materials are phenomenal on that. Like the materials on that sneaker, you know how many I held? I held 3 of them, and the materials on the neutral gray 1 low is fantastic, bro. Like that material is butter. Like it is literally like crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because.
Yeah,
it's pretty much. You can't touch it, bro. It is literally buttercup, bro. It is absolutely.
Over the summer they became instant beaters for me, like instant.
And the thing is, if you go out, we'll come to. I know we're gonna go transition into your what's happening now, but bro, those sneakers are still sitting in some places. Those you can still pick up those sneakers, from selected foot sites, and especially. And like they are still around. They are still around. Give me a second. My cam keeps flickering. Let me just try and do something. Give me 2 seconds.
I kind of felt like it was a horror movie where, like, we're about to see like the monster appear once the Flash comes back in. There's something, and like, oh no, TJ, turn around, TJ, behind you. Right? Didn't have that feeling.
So I didn't want to stop it because we flowing so good. But I knew at some point he was going to stop it. He got to get that fixed. But let's continue with you.
Word. Yeah.
So Flight 89s.
Flight 89s on the wall, finish line. And then at that time I had already been into eBay, but I bought random things like a video game I wanted or something. And so I started doing some research and I found out that like it was a retro shoe and there were multiple colorways. So then I started like trying to acquire different colors of the shoe. Before that, I would just walk into a Finish Line or Foot Locker. I'd go straight to their clearance section and I'd just buy whatever shoe looked dope. So like for example, I bought a pair of Dunks for like $30 on clearance. God forbid that happened today. But back in the day, you could actually just walk into a shoe store, go to the clearance rack, and there would be a pair of Dunks for $30. Like
you'd be hard pressed to find any Dunk OG retro sitting around now. Like, I don't know what part of the country that might happen in. I know it. TJ has seen Dunks, but they weren't the OG style or the OG colorways. He's seen. We're
talking about. Yeah, we're talking about the fragment Dunks. Yeah, like, the sitting still retail, but we're talking about
$30. Like I own a pair of Dunks that I paid $30 for.
The closest I got to was seeing a size 15 Concord from 2018 go for like 82 pounds. in the UK. But obviously, not a lot of people of size 15 here, bro. It's all the basketballers, but the basketball is not a big. The NBA, there's not NBA stars in London, as we call them. But like from my perspective, that size 15 was 82 pounds. That's the closest I've got to it. That's the closest I've got to what you just did Cam. But yo,
yeah. That was like again 2008. I'm not talking about like yesterday.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. You're not gonna find a dunk sitting. If you do see it, it'll be retail and it'll probably be a size 15 or 17 or something like that.
So going back to it, the Flight 89 was my gateway drug, like straight up 100% my gateway drug. So as soon as I started to try to acquire that shoe, this unfortunate, just kind of see that behind me right there. That this like unfortunately this can of worms got opened, and I thought to myself, what else have they retroed? What other shoes from my childhood are out there that I can buy brand new?
Yeah.
And then I discovered that they had basically retroed every Jordan. Now, I didn't own every Jordan because I couldn't afford them, but I wanted them like super bad when I was a kid. And now I'm an adult and we're like, dual income, no children at this point. So I started to do some research, but there's some caveats to this, right? So it wasn't just like, I'm just going to walk in the store and I'm going to buy like full price Jordan 4. I was pretty frugal. So I kind of set rules for myself. It was using eBay. It was $50 max, like was my goal. Like maybe I could push like 60 or whatever, but 50 was my goal. And it became more of a hunting mission, right? Yeah. So it wasn't walk into the store, see the blue shirt, try it on, fits good, go to the counter, buy the shirt, right? It was hours of time each night scouring eBay, using generic filters, trying to just find these shoes. So I fell into the Jordan 1s because we went to a local shoe store, which was like a privately owned one, and they had metallic green, do the right thing, Jordan 1s on sale on the clearance rack for $50 in the shoe store. So I bought those. I bought those dead stock.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Wow.
And
I know Joe. I just sold a pair of those for $300.
Oh my god!
And I've also sold another pair in the last 6 months for $350.
And I'm pretty sure you felt like this when you saw them.
No, it was really cool. And it was my birthday, so I didn't even pay for them. My sister bought them for me for my birthday, like But yeah, so it's cool.
I'm gonna say this. I just realized one thing when you start pointing at the back there, right? And back there, you was like, "You're not a sneakerhead if you can't do this on live." There you go, guys. There you go. I'm not saying some people are starter kit sneakerheads, which are picking up pairs, but you eventually get there. You will eventually get there if you try hard enough. And carry on, Cam, over that.
So yeah, I'll just carry you through it though. So I don't really dig 8s or above. They weren't, because at the time, if you think about when I got out of sneakers, when I went to college, really up until 7s were what I noticed around me and cared about and wished I had. So my 2s were 2004 Chicago's. I never got 3s because I set rules. So I never actually was able, at the time, I never was able to cop a pair of 3s because I could not find a pair of 3s in the price point I wanted. And at the time, I didn't restore sneakers or anything. And like all the 3s had cracked midsoles, like all of them. Yeah. So if I wanted to buy a pair for $50,
is that paint cracking?
Yeah, it was paint cracking.
Oh,
it was horrible back then, like horrible. It's a lot better now, actually.
I think they've taken Nike or Nike Jordan have actually adjusted their flexibility of that paint, because it feels like nowadays when you put a 4 on, it doesn't crack. Like I've seen 4s from like 10, 15 years ago that are just absolutely, the paint is gone. It literally it's oxidized so quickly, and it's become so brittle that it's just flaked away. And
it did, and it really did. It's like you couldn't find a 4 or a 3 without like that cracking going on. It was crazy. Couldn't even believe how people were paying the prices they were. So I never got a 3 because it was never able to meet my rules. My 4 was, this is crazy, was the original release 2006 Jordan 4 Black Cat. Again, $50. Then my
$50?
Yeah, my 5. This is even better. You ready for this? My 5 was a 1999 Jordan 5 Metallic, OG all, and the dude had the receipt in the box. $50.
$50, man.
$50.
Bro,
my 6,
bro. Hold on.
Wait.
Bruh.
Damn, bro. That's. I wish those days were back. I wish those days were back, and we could just pick up the sneakers we wanted, because at the moment it's all like you know what? It's a sad state of affairs at the moment. Like we are seeing what we're seeing with those Jordan 1. Well, it started off with ones. After the Yeezys, it was the one push, then the SB push. Now it's the 4 push. Now we're seeing the 2 push. I know, Cam, you love 2s. You absolutely love 2s. So I feel sorry because nobody was looking at 2s a year ago, like they are now, and now you're gonna struggle to get some of these 2s. So you got my raffle entry, bro. Don't worry, you got my raffle entry.
Yeah, it's all good.
I've been on the hunt. I've been on the hunt for a pair of Chicago 2s, whether it be the high or the low, for a decent price for the past 3 years or so. I remember going into, this was the day of the Shadow 3.0 release. So I didn't like the shoe. So I said, you know what? I'm going to flip it, because I didn't know anybody. I was still fairly new to the sneaker game. I had no friends in the sneaker game. Didn't really know too many people that were into sneakers the way I had started being into them. So I said, I'm going to go to a local resale shop and I'm going to flip them. 170, actually 160. That shoe was 160 before the price hike. And the guy at the shop offered me 190. I said, nah, I didn't drive over here to get 190. So I'm walking out of the store with my shoe in bag, receipt, all that. Release day, they released at 10. I went and picked them up. I was at that resale shop by 11:30. So this is around 12 o'clock. I'm walking out of the store. 2 young guys. Soon as I walk out the store, obviously they waiting on me. Hey, what size are those? I said 11. How much you want for them? I told him to give me $240. He gave me the $240 Cash App. That was actually my first ever Cash App transaction.
Okay. Word.
So down the street from that store, there was, and mind you, that story comes with a caveat, because I thought I was going to be a reseller, but it didn't turn out. It didn't turn out that way for me. I had a change of heart. I did kind of well in the beginning, but the more I got into the culture, the more I realized I didn't want to be a reseller.
It's toxic.
Yeah, I go to it's a thrift shop down the street from the resale shop. The Royals, the Jordan 1 Royals, the all blue ones that you showed last week, I believe it was.
Hyper Royal?
The original Hyper, not the Hyper Royal from last year.
Right, the Hyper Royal that's all blue with white.
Exactly. Yeah. Those, they were probably 7 out of 10. Those were, I believe, I want to say they were my size, because I remember being mad at myself after the fact. I think they were my size. They were there, probably 7 out of 10 condition. All they needed was really a cleanup and some crease removal. They were about $60.
Oh, bro!
And there was the Chicago 2.
That's crazy.
Low. They were probably about $50, bro. And I did not pull the trigger on either shoe.
That's crazy.
Man, bruh. Had I known then what I know now, which makes me madder.
No,
Now.
I have a ton of that, man. Believe me,
Shoot.
ton of that. Some of the
It-
sneakers
it-
that I flipped, like doing the whole pre-owned, clean up, resell, buy low, sell high kind of thing. Some
Yeah,
of the sneakers that I let go,
that
if I just would have
Chicago,
known.
that Chicago too low, bro. That's like a $500 shoe right now.
Yeah. So this is what we're talking about with midsole cracking. Like when Cam was talking about midsole cracking.
And that actually was
it-
one of the shoes that did it. Like that is one of the shoes I remember seeing all
Yeah.
the time that was cracking.
And you know what? This year we're gonna see the re-release of the 503s, so we will be able to judge whether that paint holds up. But that is what you expect to. Well, that was what's happening with that sneaker in terms of that midsole stripping. But it's never hardly the white. It's always the color that actually strips, like the black on the foot on the breads. I've seen a really bad picture of the Red 4 just absolutely stripped, and all you see is just the white peering through, and you're like, oh damn.
Well, the fact that it flaked off, it gives you your answer right there, because paint should not be flaking off, which means it wasn't adhering to the foam. Like, we know way too much about like restoring and customizing sneakers to now. Like, if I knew then what I know now, I would have understood that number one, I could have bought those sneakers and I could have repainted them, no problem. Number two, I would have known exactly what was happening. The reason it wasn't, because the paint there wasn't enough layers of paint and they weren't adhering to the foam. So which is the major issue. So
exactly.
Jordan 6 was an Oreo. It was a gift from my wife. We walked into the outlets and bought Oreo 6s for $80.
And just to touch on that, when Jordan Brand told us these were the Moonlights, you are fake news. Because they sat, and as you can see, Cam went and picked them up from the outlets because they were called the Oreos before they were even called the Moonlights, and nobody was waiting in that moonlight to pick those Oreos up. So one more time,
they retro, if they retro the Oreo 6, will they call it Moonlight or will they leave it Oreo?
I don't know,
because it's good. They go retro that shoe. They have to.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful shoe. Man.
They retro
the
Lightning 4s. They have to retro that shoe.
So do you think they called it the Moonlights from the Oreos because there was an Oreo biscuit, and then basically they don't want to get copy stricken off a sneaker name?
Maybe.
I think so.
And it wasn't. They weren't called the Oreos. You know what I mean? They were nicknamed the Oreos.
Yeah, you nicknamed the Oreos.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So the problem is then sneakers didn't exist, so they didn't nickname their own shoes then. Mm-hmm. You know, but now they do nickname their shoes on the sneakers app. They're trying to get ahead of the nicknames, so they can't use Oreo. Clearly,
Well, we know the sneaker nickname is a product of the sneaker culture.
Yes,
maybe somebody in the factories or the distribution or the headquarters of these companies give the shoe a nickname, or maybe it don't stick. But I learned nicknames from the streets. Like you said,
the street name always sticks. The street name always sticks. So like I have however much I've tried to not call these Jordan 4 Crimsons the Crimsons. The street name is the Red Thunders. Yeah. And I said it in my YouTube video. I was like, that's blasphemous. You can't call them the Red Thunders. They don't even touch the original Thunders. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible quality wise. But like that's a street name for them. If you went to somebody on like if you went to a reseller or if you went to somebody that you want to buy it from, if you told them I want the Crimsons, they'll look at you like, you mean the Red Thunders? You see that? So that's instantly that's the reaction you'll get.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe you should call them Thunder Stricken instead, because they look like they've been hit with lightning.
Well, the original Thunder, because Thunder doesn't have a color, because Thunder ain't something you can see. The black and yellow being the partner of the lightning, it made sense because you won't see lightning if you don't hear thunder.
Right.
Yeah.
So it made sense, but red thunder, I understand it's a color swap. It's like Scorpion. It's literally Scorpion turning into Ermac. You know,
Yeah,
black
but
and yellow to
do
black and
you, do,
red.
do you reckon? Do you reckon they should have called it the red after thunder when it hits the fucking tree and it burns the tree down? This is red thunder. He's insane. Like, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Thunder is associated with white. When you see white thunder, like when you see thunder in the sky, we're talking about the actual sky rather than sneakers. So in reality, yellow is probably a bit more of a reflective color to that white than it is to that red. So
Yeah.
maybe they should have recalled it the after effect of thunder.
Well, and the thing is you're still using the word wrong, right? So like let's just I'm gonna put sorry, let me put my engineering hat on. Okay. Thunder is the noise that's made after the lightning hits the
Exactly.
ground.
Exactly.
So everybody knows that trick where you count and every 5 seconds is a mile away or something like that when it comes to
Right,
thunder.
right.
So thunder is a noise that's made when lightning hits the ground.
It's a sonic boom. That's what thunder is. But let's get off the technical stuff and get back to the fun. Talking about
So
these
I only have
sneakers.
one other shoe that I bought because remember I told you I was going to stop at 7, and they were citruses. So Citrus 7s, 2006 Citrus 7s.
Bruh.
Yeah.
It's going to be a round of applause for that sneaker coming out this
Yeah.
year, bro. I've been waiting for that
Man,
sneaker
I
to come
need
out.
two. I
Bro,
need two of those.
you talk about a
Yeah.
double up. That's a double up worthy sneaker
It
because
is a really cool colorway.
exactly. I like the yellow. I like the red. I like the all black uppers, bro. That sneaker is fire. And I will say one thing. I had a chance to pick those up VNDS, but I refused to because I knew as soon as I put my feet in it. Oh, not VNDS, a DS. I mean, but if I put my feet in it, it would have crumbled. I'm not.
It's a
I
wrap.
don't risk.
2006.
I don't risk. Yeah, I don't risk picking up a sneaker that's maybe 5 to 6 years old. That's my limit. I think that's my limit. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll wait for retro. And I'm so thankful that sneakers coming out this year.
And see with that, I don't display shoes. I think that shoe may be for someone that displays shoes.
This is a
Yes.
2006 right here.
Yep.
Right.
I'm gonna have to get used to seeing like the camera going the opposite direction. By the way, yeah, this is a 2006. So I'm doing a restore customization. So,
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
but that's a 2006. So so then there's more to the story because it's all about how the entire being of who I am or whatever came together, right? So I'm also a watch person at this time. I'm not really anymore because I do the Apple Watch, but back then I collected watches. I had G-Shocks. I got into higher end timepieces. My first watch was a wedding gift from my wife. It was just and that was again like a gateway drug into bigger and better watches. So I fell into this watch on eBay where I saw it sell for $770.
What was it?
It was a Tag Heuer Link chronograph automatic. So this is a watch that normally used was selling between $1,500 and $2,000. And the fact that it sold for $770, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed that auction. I'm so pissed. And then next thing you know, I see the seller relist the watch. So I messaged the guy and I'm like, why did you relist the watch? He's like, yeah, this stupid asshole in the auction, he won it and he never paid me. And I was like, well, are you willing to sell the watch for the $770? And it was a pawn shop. So the guy was like, yeah, I'll sell the watch for $770. So I looked at my wife and I was like, hey, there's this watch for $770 and I really want it. She's like, where are you gonna get the money for that? Right. So then I told her, I was like, I know because when you're doing all this research and you're trying to buy sneakers low, it's not just about finding the sneakers low. It's about learning the sneaker culture and learning the dynamics and then learning like the names but the value. You learn the value of the sneakers. So I knew that every pair that I picked up was worth a lot more than what I paid because I saw all these pairs I wasn't going to buy and I couldn't afford what they were selling for.
Right.
So I told her, I was like, I'll just sell some sneakers. So the 3 sneakers I chose to sell were, I chose to sell the Black Cat 4s. I chose to sell, and now understand, I didn't wear them. Like they were worth too much money, and at that time, I would not put a $300 sneaker on my foot.
Wow.
So I sold my 1999 Jordan 5 Metallics, and I sold my Jordan 6 Oreos, which I did rock. But I realized that I'm not a Jordan 6 guy, which I never owned when I was a kid, because of the height of it. It actually like it hurts the back of my leg, so I've never really been a Jordan 6 person. So then I sold those 3 pairs of sneakers. I sold the Jordan 5 Metallics for $500. I sold the Jordan 3 Black Cats for $350, and I sold the Oreo 6s for $250.
So you had enough money to get the watch from 2 shoes.
2 shoes, but I didn't know that.
Damn. Yeah. Damn.
So did you get the watch?
I did. It's not with me. It's upstairs. But yes, and my funny thing is I've sold off all of my major timepieces with the exception of that watch. Like that's the one watch where I'm gonna own it the rest of my life. I'm gonna give it to Lincoln, later.
That is like a generational thing. We just keep passing along the generations.
I mean,
That is definitely.
It's not a Rolex, but it's still a high-end timepiece, So
definitely beautiful.
It's the significance. It holds significance to you, nostalgia, because it led you to the sneaker culture.
Yes,
it's literally is like a heirloom now, because now you've got a pass along, and I'm definitely sure you would teach your son the meaning of that watch and how important it is. So he would never sell that. Let's just say he would never sell that.
And it's such a great watch. Like it's such a cool watch. It's beautiful, by the way. Actually, because we have the whole screens thing going up, I'll pull it up here. So tag your link.
And was that the gateway drug to into restoring and reselling restorations and stuff like that for you, Cam?
Yeah, so I will tell you that in 1 second as soon as I find this watch.
You gotta find the watch.
Yeah.
Because I'm super lightweight when it comes to watches. I just bought a couple of G-Shocks because I started paying attention to watch culture and started consuming some of the content from watch culture. And it's just as serious, if not more serious, because it's more expensive than sneaker culture. You can pay.
It is expensive, yeah.
There are sneakers out there that people are selling for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. But that's kind of few and far between in the sneaker culture. In the watch culture, a guy would be happy to pay $50,000 for a Rolex Daytona. You know what I'm saying? Like that's cheap. That's cheap for a Daytona.
Cam, you should start a separate account called Watch These Sneaks and Fits.
Yeah. All right, so this is the watch. This is my watch.
Wow. That bracelet is stupid.
Yeah, well, the link bracelet's really cool. Like each one of the links, of course, is separate, and when you take them out, there's a screw. There's a initial screw in the back, and then each one of them has pins on the inside, and so every link going down the chain holds the previous link into place until the last one gets screwed into place. So it's crazy. It's really cool. It's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle when you put it together. Yeah. So of course it's got the rotating bezel. It's a. Oh, I'm gonna mess it up. I don't remember the movements anymore, but it's a super common movement, which is the reason why it's not like crazy expensive. So whenever you see the dials where you have so of course there's chronograph and seconds, right?
Right.
So the idea is that you have the vertical dials and one on the left. That is a 7850 an ETA. It's an ETA 7850 movement, and it's probably one of the least expensive movements for an automatic chronograph. If you ever see the dial over here, you're talking like a much more significant cost in the watch, because it's a much more complicated movement. This is a not as complicated movement. And if anybody knows anything about watches or wants to learn about watches, the idea is the more complicated the movement, the more expensive the watch.
Yeah.
So if you get into stuff like if you Google tourbillon, tourbillon watches will run like as much as a house, because they're, and the concept of a
house watch. There's a house watch.
Yeah. The concept of a tourbillon is it's not just horizontal
I'm just looking at Keith's face. He's gone.
House, bro. God.
Yeah. A house, dude. A house. There's watches that run in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's not just because of diamonds. It's because they're
Of the
handmade, they're
mechanism.
one off.
Yeah.
It's like the concept of a Ferrari, but in a watch form. And then tourbillons have, so a normal watch has only horizontal movement, right? So everything in the watch is horizontal. If you have a tourbillon, it actually has vertical movement too.
Wow.
So that's one of the reasons why they're so expensive.
I've seen. Do you know Jacob and Co? They've got some fantastic watches. They go for like $250,000. Like, and obviously some of it's based on diamond, but some of it's based on that handcraft. I keep an eye out because one day maybe I'll be able to touch a watch like that. But bro, those watches are crazy.
Yeah,
the design.
no doubt.
I like a crazy design watch. I like it. It's like I saw one of the designs was like a dragon encompassed into the actual mechanism, and it comes out and the mechanism sits there and there's a globe in there. It's like, whoa, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I would happily swap this for that. I happily would wear that.
Yeah.
I forget the Apple Watch, forget the Fitbit, forget everything else. I would wear just a timepiece that's absolutely beautiful because that's becoming really rare. That's becoming really, really rare now. It's where everybody's got this black patch. Nobody's got that timepiece that looks absolutely epic. I'm so down for wearing something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a different feel too. Like the weight of it on your wrist. It's amazing. I just wish there was some way for me to get the same feeling from that watch and all the technology that I'm now used to.
And also for watch culture, doing aftermarket changes to the watch depreciates the watch. I've learned that over time that the rappers that go and put a bunch of diamonds and crush the face and all this bezel and the band and everything, you're actually depreciating the value of the watch when you do that. So for anybody that's out there that is interested or is in the watch culture, those are things that you got to know. The more original the watch is, even when it comes to swapping out a band. If a guy sells you a watch with an aftermarket band, it's not as worth. It's not worth as much as it used to be.
Yeah,
bro.
It's like a numbers matching car is what it's like.
Look at that. Look how awesome that mechanism is. Like that is like a see-through. I love, and the thing is, the beauty of this is you can actually see the mechanism working as the watch is going, and it looks awesome. This is what I'm aspiring to one day, to actually obtain one of these like beautiful timepieces, and it's like wearing a work of art on your wrist. It's
gorgeous. Is ridiculous. I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
Have you not? Like I just went onto the Jacob & Co. website to actually go and see what I looked at the other day. Bro, look. I know this is mint encrusted, diamond encrusted, whatever. This is the Bugatti Chevron watch, bro. Like this is crazy. Bro. It's literally designed like a Bugatti engine.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Beautiful. That I don't want to even fathom what the price of that watch is, because like it will probably make me cry.
It's probably close to $1 million.
Yes. Sure. But hold on. Let me see if we can play this video, because like have a look at this.
Whoa. It's actually got pistons in it.
Bro.
It does have pistons. That's insane.
Like, have you seen the pistons on this thing, bro? Wow. The way it functions, it is designed like a Bugatti Chevron. Like literally, the watch is amazing. And
see that to the horizontal movement and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how we deteriorated from sneakers to watches, but let's just view this for a little second, bro, because this is amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, the diamonds in it. I mean, I don't.
They could take the diamonds out. They could take the diamonds out and replace it. But that
I don't
mechanism,
think I'll ever own a diamond watch. Yeah.
But okay, okay. We deter from the subject, but we go back to the
Yeah,
subject.
I don't need that much attention. I'm used to getting attention. I'm used to getting the type of attention where people looking down.
Yeah. The only
watch
thing is also like the people that own that watch probably also pay security.
Oh,
to,
and
like,
the people
walk
that own that
around
watch
them.
probably own a Bugatti anyway. So
Yeah,
like,
or they live in Dubai. Like,
okay, exactly,
where it's like where it's normal to wear a watch like that.
Do you reckon if you heard it like this, it goes broom broom. He's got some horsepower on that actual watch.
Yeah, I don't know if you can dyno a watch. That's funny.
Oh, that'd be quite interesting experiment. But
So-
sorry, bro. We go back to what you were saying. I just went off subject, bro.
No, it's
cool.
cool, man. It's cool. I mean, where were we, by the way? Oh, so sell the shoes, buy the watch.
Right.
So there's this moment where I kind of realized that I accidentally flipped sneakers for profit, right?
Light bulb.
Yeah. And so and of course the sneakers that I wanted, there was lots of sneakers I never bought because I didn't buy the sheer volume of them because I wasn't trying to spend the money. It clearly had the rules of no more than $50 for the sneaker, all that type of stuff. So then while I was doing all the research and scouring for sneakers, hunting for sneakers, I started to buy sneakers in every size between 8 and 13 that I knew were like a steal, and then I could then in turn sell them. And at the time, this is before Yeezy dropped, right? So this is like probably 2010, 2011 time frame. Jordan's like every retro and foam posits, every Jordan and every foam posit was like crazy. It was nuts. Like the foam posits themselves were reselling for like $300 used, and people couldn't even give a damn about a foam posit today, really. So, but every single Jordan that released was just sought after completely, as long as it was an original retro. So I just started buying these sneakers, and then when I got them home, I would clean them, I would relace them, I would take the photographs of them. But here's the thing about being an eBay seller: if you don't have a history and a rating, you can't sell for the price you want to sell them for. So when I first started reselling, and this is going to sound crazy, I would go into like Finish Line, Foot Locker, whatever. I would find whatever's on clearance. I would buy it. I would walk into TJ Maxx, like any of these places, and then I would sell the shoes at cost just to have the experience of selling to a buyer and having the buyer rate me and leave feedback. So I wasn't making any money, but I was, and my wife understood this completely. She was like, wow, I can't believe you're doing this. But I was buying sneakers so that I could just in turn sell them, not make any money, just to build my eBay rating, because
and you
that's,
find that
that's
as
everything.
well. And you find that as well with like let's just take ourselves out the box, and let's think of ourselves as the consumer. So if I was to go on eBay and I was to say, all right, cool, I want to buy. Just say I want to buy what released this weekend, which was the Marina ones, and first thing I would instantly do before the verification. That verification's changed a lot.
This is years before authentication.
This is years before. This is years before StockX. This is years before Goat. This is years before any other reselling platforms were there. eBay started it all. eBay was the global platform. So that's what you got to remember. Take yourself away from now to 10 years back. So if I was me 10 years back and you were selling me like a retro Jordan, I'm like, okay, let me check. First thing I'll do is check your rating, and then check your positive reviews, and then check if you safe for you to buy in terms of reading through your negative reviews. Because what I tend to do is I ignore the positive reviews, because like you could get one of your friends to put a positive review, or somebody else could put. So I go to your negative reviews and read what's there. If the negative reviews are little complaints like, oh, it's late shipping, oh, this, that, okay, then I can trust you a bit more. And then I'll go and see like what the condition of the shoes. That was the check. And Cam, you're 100% right. Is before we are where we are at the moment, it was always do your due diligence on the seller and then give your money there. Because even though the eBay's got really good return policy, you still could get scammed. And bro, like 10 years back, I was watching videos with we have Judge, was it Judge Judy or something like that? The courts
Yeah.
where they actually small claims courts.
Claims court, yeah.
Yeah, small claims. Like there was a review. There was a incident where somebody spent £500
Yeezys.
or five. No. They're not the Yeezys. I remember that one as well. But somebody had spent $300 to $400 and was sent a picture of a phone.
Yeah. Yeah. That was real.
So, that was real. And it was, they took him to small claims court, and then they said, well, you said you wanted $500 for this picture. And he goes, well, you said it was the phone. And there was this whole dispute about who was right and who was wrong. So it's very good. Is that back 10 years ago, you needed to make sure you knew your stuff. And bro, I think that's the big recommendation to anybody, even now, like even if you're a verified user, or a verified, you buy from an eBay verification, it's still for me really hard to pay a price to a new person because you still was really iffy. So
well, and that's actually what happens is if you have a very low rating in eBay, it doesn't mean you're a bad person or you're going to rip people off, but people don't trust that experience. So then,
no.
So and by the way, if like once when you pay, like it goes out of your bank account, right?
Yep.
So then even if it works out and it doesn't work out, I mean, you'll get your money back, but your money's wrapped up. It's wrapped up for like sometimes close to a month before everything settles. So
if
you're
it's
someone
really
like
hard to get
me
your money
who's
back
got has like a bankroll in the sense that I'm just buying sneakers, then I actually love the person who's never sold on eBay before, because if I ended up getting the sneakers, I'm going to get them for a lot less money, and I'm going to help future persons because I'm going to leave them positive ratings and all that other stuff. And if it goes bad, it's not money I needed. So if it's wrapped up for a month, it's just wrapped up for a month. I'll get it back. But other people can't do that. You know what I mean? Or while it's wrapped up, you're not able to buy the sneakers you could have bought from someone else because now your money's wrapped up in this sale that didn't work out. So
and on that and pretty much on that comment, it's very viable. The reason why we did see, so what you just mentioned there is like your collateral, your actual investment, you actually tied on to those sneakers. So what people tend to forget nowadays, because there's so many new resellers coming in, there's so many young new kids coming into this game, they haven't got the bankroll like some of us would have. They could say, okay, I'm going to pick up this and I'll pick up that, I'm going to pick up this, and and if I don't want it, I can still send it back and wait for my money to come back. These kids will spend their entire savings to get a sneaker or on that release date, and then what they'll end up doing is when they do get that sneaker on that release date, they need to sell it quite quickly, and this is where you see that spike in price and that lowering price when they realize these sneakers are sitting still with them. They need to get rid of them quite quickly, and this is where you get the deals, especially if you're not VNDS. We're talking about DS sneakers. When you're looking at getting resale sneakers, this is why I advise people not to spend on release, not to spend pre-release is a big no. You're going to spend hundreds of dollars way before that release. And then on release date, it's a big no because everybody's panicking buying because of fear of missing out. Now, when these small kids or these people that haven't got a big bankroll pick up 10 of these pairs and then can't get rid of 10 of these pairs because the market's saturated, you just have to wait that 1 to 2 to 3 weeks, and they will try to offload these sneakers for the next release. And then you'd say, oh, okay, cool, I can get a bargain here, so I'm gonna go out and get that release date sale. I'll get that sneaker when it actually settles at the right price. So that's important.
So
it's
I'm
two
showing
things,
my
bro.
feedback score, by the way. I don't know if can you see my screen?
Yeah.
It's two things. About pre-release, there's FOMO, and then there's also exclusivity. Some people feel like there's going to be no chance that I can get this sneaker for retail. I really want it, so let me go in now and try to get it for whatever the price is. And hopefully those people aren't skipping anything necessary to spend that money. And then there's exclusivity. Some people feel like they have a certain level of status
Yep.
to where if I don't
They
have
need
it
to keep
early,
up. They need to keep up.
I don't want to have it the same time everybody else has it, which is kind of the opposite effect of what I know we do sometimes. I know I do it personally. I still got shoes from 2 years ago that I have yet to unds because I don't want to have it on at the same time as somebody else. And it's not about exclusivity. It's more about not being like a clone in a way.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can rationalize it for myself.
I'll put you keep talking. I'll pull up something for you guys. This is what you mean.
That
I'm gonna
meme,
pull up some. Yeah,
not
I'm gonna
that
pull it.
video.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pull it up. I'm just stop mentioning. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm pull it up. But you keep talking. Keep talking.
But I didn't do that as much when I first got into the sneaker game. We can go back to the beginning of my YouTube channel and see that I only had 8 pairs in the background. And then the next video was 9 pairs. And the next video, it was 11 pairs. And the next video, it was 12. And, you could see my progression from when I first started. Because I didn't do videos when I first started. It went from probably 10 pairs, maybe 10 or 12 pairs when I first started to this monstrosity you see behind me.
Yeah.
and like
you're gonna have to transition at some point.
I can't even remember at this point. I used to be able to remember, okay, I got these 3 pairs that I haven't worn yet. Now I can't even remember. I think it's maybe 12 or 15 pairs in my collection that I haven't worn yet, but they're all recent releases. So I feel like I got a certain amount of time before I have to start putting wears on them so they'll last. I'm not going to be the guy on Instagram that's pulling out. I'm not going to be DJ Khaled with my Yeezys crumbling.
Oh, no. You know another one and still crumbling.
I refuse to be that guy.
Oh yeah.
It won't happen to me.
I'm so like that myself because I will not wear a pair of sneakers straight off. I'm trying to find this. I might have to show it through my phone. Let me just show it through my phone because at the moment I can't log on to my Instagram account. But this is what we're talking about, and unfortunately I have to show it through my phone. But when you this is quite funny. This is quite funny. So like.
Right. And especially when it's a real popular shoe, bro. Like Cool Grades.
That's a GR, bro. I told you, it's a GR sneaker. Watch for the restocks.
Yo, I guarantee you, a lot of people have walked into a restaurant or a store or a club or whatever, and they're the 5th person in the building with Cool Grades on. Like, I don't want to be that guy. And we're not going to have the same outfits because I feel like I dress differently enough. My style is different enough to not have on something similar to somebody else. But
yeah.
I don't want to be the dude in there with the Jordan 1 Fusions on when 4 other people got Fusions on. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand that completely.
So you go from flipping to get your watch to becoming the shoe dragon.
I wish I had a dragon sound, which I need to get for next time. But all we can do is.
Yeah, I mean, at what point did you realize that? Okay, I'm no longer doing this for a certain goal. This is what I'm doing now. Like, this is who I am now.
Yeah. That's really hard because for the longest time, the concept of flipping was like out of necessity,
Yeah.
So first it was like I had a goal, which my son was born in August 2013. So at the time I was flipping to, and it was kind of like, it's not like we couldn't afford the hospital bills, but it was it was just cool to tell the story like, hey, I'm flipping because I want to pay for the hospital bills for my son's birth. So that was what I worked towards, and I was able to pay for like.
Yes.
So then I
100%.
so I got about halfway for that, and then later on, I don't know if anybody watching this has gone through this experience, but when you have two kids, both in a young age, my daughter was in preschool, my son is now in like daycare, right? Because he's an infant. My daughter's preschool was like $875 a month. My son's daycare was $1,000. So I had almost $1,900 a month wrapped up in childcare.
That is expensive, bro. That is really expensive.
Yeah,
But
and it's actually more expensive depending on where you live. So
Yeah.
I mean, like if someone from New York or Connecticut watches this, they're gonna be like, "Wow, that's cheap. That's a bargain." Because it probably costs them like
Bro,
$3,000 a month to do that stuff.
you know what? You know what?
Wow.
We talked to. Well, did we say this in episode 1 or episode 2? 1 and 2. But in episode 1, we said reselling is sometimes. We don't agree. Myself and Q don't agree with reselling to pick up hundreds and thousands of pairs of sneakers just to kind of get a profit margin of it. But when you flip sneakers to support, and when you flip sneakers to support your payment of other sneakers, like you pick up 3 pairs and have 1 for free, or because you're a kid, or when what you've just done is pick up VNDS, remodel them, and let's not get this. Let's not get this twisted, because picking up a VNDS sneaker that was left there, you could have left it there, but you actually brought it back to life and actually gave it a new home. That's a totally different. That's totally different in the perspective of reselling anyway. But when you did that and actually supported your family, that's amazing. That is a hustle. It's supporting your family is the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate hustle. See what I'm saying? That is what we should be doing. That 100%. Like and that's something to be celebrated. All hands on every time. If you can do that and you can kind of support your family, it's amazing.
Yeah, and I wasn't taking a sneaker from somebody.
No,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Anybody could have bought the
literally
sneaker
resurrecting it.
before me. Although the technique I use, in a sense, like you would have to use the exact same technique to beat me. You know what I mean?
Let's. I don't want to get into that part. Selfishly, I want that.
He wants to be a secret. Secret's been kept. He's like, Cam, don't tell him the secrets. I need to know this. I need to get these sneakers. I need to make sure I get these sneakers. Don't give it to everybody. Just leave it between us.
Okay.
That's one thing. That's one thing that y'all not gonna be privy to. Y'all gonna have to go to Cam personally and get that.
Bro, that's
from
shoe dog
him.
mentality there.
Yeah. Y'all gonna have to go to Cam and get that from him. If he want to let you know that part of it, he can let you know.
Cam's Instagram's there, guys. If you want to go and talk to the bro, go talk to the bro. He's up there.
Yeah.
And look, we don't want to put no added pressure or no added people in your life, but you control your side of it. You know, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. But we do want if you're so gracious enough to allow us a peek at some of your Instagram, or not Instagram, I'm sorry, some of your eBay sniping methods. I want to say one thing. I did notice, Cam, like the whole story base, and I've known you for about roughly a year and a half now. And I can say, like, hands down, one of the most awesome people out there. This is what we call you, Gandalf. We call you the historian. We call you this. You know, I always come and talk to you if I need anything or if I need your advice. And we, like, obviously, me and you do on Straight to the Toe. We do our podcast, not podcast, but live, talking about customs. And like, I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday probably was Saturday for anybody that's watching this, was the best day of my life in a little while. Ever since what happened to me last year in terms of my house getting flooded and stuff. But yesterday I felt really alive, just because I picked up a couple of pairs for myself and for some other people. But doing that live yesterday with you and on Instagram was phenomenal. It
kind of gave me this extra energy. I was like, yo, I like this. I want to do more of this. And it was great because, bro, maybe I was delirious because I hadn't had enough sleep. And you told me off last night for not going to sleep. but the thing is, like, I've noticed one thing, like, you've gone from being young, like just the breakdowns of it, being young, and seeing sneakers and coming back to it and supporting to get sneakers, and then the flip side is trying to get watched. So you flip some sneakers from VNDS, then you grew into that. Now then you support your family, and now you're still using that habit of bringing VNDSs, and let's just say some of these VNDSs that you pick up are dead. Somebody would throw these away, and you bring them back to life. And then you've restored them, and that supports your other sneaker habit, which is picking sneakers for yourself. And even then, you still get them for quite cheap. So that in itself is a phenomenal journey. And by the way, I can't not show these. You made me pick up one of my most favorite sneakers last year, a grail of mine. The Bel Airs, bro. Bro, and you know me, and you know Q. We love fives.
Oh.
So this is a beautiful sneaker, bro. And that's all courtesy of what we did last year.
Yeah,
what we did last year. It was amazing. So this is all credit to you. And this is why we wanted you to be the first guest on this podcast, because you have helped a lot of people out, bro.
I would not own this shoe if it wasn't for Shinron the Shoe Dragon. He blessed me. I finally got all the Dragon Balls, and Shinron came, and I asked for the Jordan 5 3 Lab, and Shinron blessed me.
And you know what? I'm gonna say one thing. Like doing the customs talk on Saturday morning, and I'm gonna say credit to you for getting up on a Saturday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, bro. Because like hands down, nobody else would do that.
Starting live at 8. I'm not getting up at 8.
Starting the live at 8, exactly. But like for you for that, the whole concept of you drive me forward. Like everybody I known in ever since I got on Instagram, on YouTube, you drive me forward. You're one of UEQ are the guys that drive me forward. And I'm just saying that those Bel Airs are there. That's probably a cleanup job. I have 3 sneakers you give me a challenge to do. One of them is the All-Star Chameleons. The other one is the Gatorade 6s. I need those green Gatorade 6s to be done pretty soon. I actually did get suede brush. I'm gonna try and talk to you through that after this or during the week. But there's other ones that you've literally given me to like go and sort this out. And it's about building that knowledge base and building that kind of essence of resurrecting sneakers. And I'm growing, and bro, we've got other people outside the spectrum like John, Hyperfocus Kicks, and Chris is dope, bro. Like it's phenomenal, and
it translates like in so many different aspects of life. So if you're someone who knows everything you need to know about building a house, right? Would you go out and would you have someone build a house for you, or would you go buy a foreclosure? Knowing that you can turn that house into a brand spanking new house, and you essentially get a ton more for your value with sweat equity, right? If you know how to work on cars and you can actually install new components like upwards to an engine and do electrical work, would you go out and buy a brand new car, or would you go out and buy an old car knowing that you could turn it into a brand new car? So that's all we're doing, dude, is we see sneakers in a different way than someone who walks into a shoe store or goes to a sneakers app. Like we see sneakers as projects, and we envision what they will look like. We look past what they do look like.
Exactly.
And that's like what I do. I mean, what it does is it allows you to cop, at a third or even sometimes a fourth of the price of the sneaker, and the materials that you're using to bring them back to life are negligible. And it's just really
bro,
time.
I'm gonna say one thing is like I've already said on Instagram what I want to do. One of my achievements is for the end of this year. I'm not gonna say it on here, but it'll be a surprise for here. But one of the things that for me is the reason. You are the reason for that to happen, because if I wasn't doing what I was doing with you on Instagram, I would not be aspiring to do what I'm gonna do this year.
Yeah.
And off the back of that, if I do accomplish what I'm going to want to do this year, then one of the first sneakers I will put together is for you as a gift to you to say thank you, bro.
All right.
And you know it's going to be a one silhouette as well.
Nice.
And you know it's going to have some orange
I
in
can't
it.
wait. I mean, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. I would feel completely privileged to rock a one of one made by a friend, and
bro,
in a heartbeat.
It's because it's because of love and respect. Like I wouldn't be doing half the things without you guys, and that's
Vice
a
versa.
massive. Yeah.
I can tell you that I feel more inspired because of Instagram, and I don't mean that in like some cheesy like teeny bopper kind of way. But I don't get to walk out my front door and go to my other sneakerhead friend's house and like talk about sneakers. Like I don't really know anybody locally that's like me into sneakers. I have friends that like sneakers and I help them buy sneakers, but their collections are like 15 shoes deep. You know what I mean?
And
Instagram allowed me to connect with people like you,
yeah.
where it's like we're 100% like-minded.
Yeah.
And that
And I'm gonna
inspires a lot of
say,
the purchases too.
I'm gonna say, and shout out to the bro Got Souls. He'll be coming on soon, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But he put a reel together yesterday for today.
Yeah.
Oh, that reel's
and
dope, dude.
Yo, I watched that reel 7 or 8 times. So if you don't follow Got Souls, go follow Got Souls. If you don't follow Straight to the Dough, go and check that reel out. It emphasized everything that we achieved last year as a group of people. It emphasized, bro, there's no one person in the same state. There's no one person in the same global location, except for maybe like even you and Q aren't in the same state.
Technically,
So,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was funny because I'm really close to Polar, like really close.
Yeah. But like we had Brendan who pulled out South Africa. We had E who pulled out East Africa, which is my hometown, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. He pulled out UK. We pulled out Glasgow. We pulled out Atlanta. We pulled out from where you are. It just showed the connections. If you do Instagram right, and if you do social media right, that's the connections you can actually achieve. And it's beautiful because basically we have no animosity to each other. We just come on, we talk, we discuss, we break it down, and it's beautiful, and it's always positive. It's always like, yo, how can I inspire you and how you can inspire me? And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's dope.
Yeah.
Hands down, it is dope.
It's a beautiful thing. Because when I started in the sneaker community, it was very lonely for me. It was me and my wife, who does not really care as much as I do. She has a passion for it because I have a passion for it, and we support each other that way. But then there is my brother King Rod, Mr. A Beautiful Thing, and then
this is weird. This is King Rod.
Yeah. and then I met Retro Rick, and he introduced me to the other side of the sneaker game. And then I started to meet people because my knowledge base went up and people started looking to me for information on cops and can you help me get these? And that's what really turned me into the Q that I am now, where at first I was just Q Rocker and now I'm 808 Kicks. Like people walk up to me and, hey, you 808. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm actually being recognized in the malls and in the stores and stuff like that. So
Bro,
It's,
bro,
it's,
yeah, yeah,
it's,
you
it's
saw,
a
you
different
saw.
thing.
I
It's
know.
a different thing, bro.
Hold on. Cam, you will get recognized one day, and you will feel how awkward. It's not awkward. Like I remember, it's happened to me. It's happened to me when we went to the design museum. Somebody came up to me and said, "I know you. You're in Love Kicks Customs." I was like, "Yeah, you do,
Yeah.
mate." It's
Yeah,
like,
I
You
I don't know how
almost
to
want to say
react.
no. You almost
Yeah.
want to deny it. Like, no, that ain't me. I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
I mean, I kind of feel like that will never happen.
It will.
I
It
don't
will.
feel
When you least expect
popular.
it,
I don't
bro.
feel popular on. I feel included. You know what I mean?
No,
100%.
bro.
But I don't feel popular
Yeah.
because
The
Instagram.
thing is, bro,
Yeah.
we look up to you because you have that knowledge. You have anytime, like who would have thought what we were discussing yesterday on the live when you're talking about Yeezy ones having the soul of not the Jordan 3s, but you were talking about the
Like Air Assault.
no, yeah, exactly. So who would know that? Like who would come and say, no, actually it's not that. It's like, bro, because you're the historian, you are the one with the knowledge, and this is why you are that pillar that kind of combines us, and we just always come to you. But you will get recognized. Trust me, you will get recognized
think-
because
Okay.
you are
I-
going to blow up.
I think you haven't been recognized yet because you don't float through the sneaker community as much as we may do going to retail stores and going to conventions and community events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The sooner you go to a sneaker event, meaning whether it's a sneaker con or maybe a big retail release, somebody is going to know you. They may not say it, they may not say it at all, or they may not say it right away.
Yeah.
Because when I was recognized, I was in line behind the guy. And I noticed he kept, this was for the cool grade 11s. He would look back and he would say a little, oh, this is some bullshit. Because we were standing in line waiting on our raffle W pairs.
Right.
And it was just a bad release at I ain't even gonna say the store, but it was a bad release. And so people that were behind us in line were getting their pairs, even though we were the second and third person. And he kept looking at me. And I told the chick at the red, I said, y'all got Rocker back there? Y'all got Quentin Rocker back there? Like, nah, we ain't got to it yet, or something like that. And so maybe 5 minutes later, he say, hey, you got a YouTube channel, right? Oh shit! Here we go.
And you wanted to say,
But it was a weird moment because that was only maybe my third or fourth time being recognized outside of a community of people. Like when I go to RetroCon, I kind of expect people to recognize me because it's a group, it's a conglomerate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, cool. All right, cool. This is a question. This is a little bit of a question for me. Would you find it disrespectful if you went to RetroCon and nobody recognized you, and somebody else recognized you on the street?
No, I wouldn't because I'm humble at heart. So I always have the feeling that nobody knows me. You know, I move so low key. I don't have, 50,000 followers. I don't have 20,000 subs on YouTube. So it's like, nobody knows me like that. And when it started happening to me, 808, and people run up to me and they want to have conversation with me. And I feel like they're actually trying to get to know me on a personal level. I appreciate it so much more because I have a humble personality.
Yeah.
I'm not out here trying to be the man, so to speak.
No.
Like some people they shun the fact that they're being noticed, or they try to downplay somebody because I don't know who you are, so you ain't worth my time. Like I could never be that type of person.
No. I mean, I'm like you. I mean, I'm the first person if someone says, "Hey, I need help with getting a sneaker" or something like that. That's the whole point of the community. It's not to shun anybody.
And
it's to be available, to share your experience, share your knowledge.
Exactly.
And then it's a personality type. Like I know for a fact that TJ and I share this, where I've always had the personality type that I will trust you immediately, and then you have to have you have to work towards keeping it.
Oh, yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
not the personality type where you have to earn it. So when I
No.
meet people, I just kind of rely on my instincts, my first impressions, and maybe I'm gullible,
And
but
Uh,
you know,
but no, bro, my missus tells me that too all the time. She's like, you're too trusting. You're too like. She's very. I would say I'm a bit of an extrovert, which I will just if I know you, I'm like, yo, let's cool, let's chill, let's do. And my instant reaction is to kind of, oh yeah, cool, let's talk. And like you said, me and you, Cam, and probably even I mean, even E and Q are the same. Like we'll get to know. You're like, yo, okay, cool, let's talk, let's vibe. And then like my full trust will be in you until you lose that trust. And when you lose that trust, it's really hard to get that back. And because automatically, for my girlfriend, it's a bit different. She has all her walls up, and then you have to break them down, and then she'll be comfortable with you. Well, for me, there is no walls, and as soon as you do something wrong, all the walls go up, and now you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
nah,
yeah. You
nah.
blocked off. You completely blocked off
yeah,
from the first sign. The first sign of you trying to do something wrong or something bad, in my opinion, is like halfway. And I'm looking over the wall, but you gone.
that's
You out of
awesome.
there.
Yeah, I always describe myself, and this applies at work too, but I always describe myself as the nicest mean person you've ever met.
Yes.
It's like all you
Yes.
gotta do is cross that line, and you'll meet a person that you never knew existed based
Yeah.
on the way that
Don't
I
Can
act before you.
don't be a
can
line stepper.
are you sure you're not my brother, bro? I'm exactly the same way. I will go above and beyond to literally make your life a hell if you do something bad to me. Like I'm not intentionally. It will be like you're gone. But if you keep pushing the barriers, if you keep coming at me in a certain way, then yeah, I have to address it. I have to address it. But it's never got to that point. But yeah, bro, it is life. This is what happens when you cross trusting, reliable people. They will basically make your life a hell if you keep pushing them. And that's one word of advice. Don't take our kindness as a weakness, because
Please,
it's not.
please
But
don't.
going back to the you saying Q, like that incident where somebody saw you in the line. Well, I think Scott came to me to give me his what was it called, it Unite Freeze, and because he wanted me to do the customs for him. So I was like, oh Scott, you're here. Let's go and get something to eat. Don't worry. We went to this in Stratford. Stratford is like East London kind of thing where I work. So we basically went there to actually get some Wagamamas to eat. I was walking there, and I normally talk. I'm a very receptive person online, and so if you message me, I'll message you back, and we'll break it down, vibe, and if you need any help, I'll give you help advice. And then somebody that I haven't got a face. Is literally they post stuff without showing their face, and he just said, "Oh, you're Love Kiss Customs, aren't you?" And I turned around and said, yeah, but how do I know? Oh, I'm so and so. So sneakers and charms. Because he does his charms. I said, oh, bro, I know you. I talked to you. It was really like, are you? And I was like, yo, this is Scott. It's Mr. Simpson. Because at that time Scott didn't show his face. It's like, this is Scott. All right, we talk as well. It's like, yeah, it's just weird. It's like,
Yeah.
when you're walking and you just instantly somebody doesn't even say your name, says what you're doing, and it takes you back. Like, are you? What? You see what I'm saying? It's like it's weird.
Yeah.
It's totally weird. But you will
Yeah,
get recognized, bro. You will get recognized one day, and you were like,
You
and then you
will.
feel like, oh, I can break it down with you now.
It'll be one person. It'll be one person, and they'll look at you. When they look at you, look down at what they have on feet, and you'll think to yourself, "Here it comes. This person, this person knows me." If you see someone wearing a fresh pair of J's, More so probably some sought after stuff, something that's got a high resale, something that's hard to get, or something that's older, some Jordan 1s or Dunks or something like that. I believe that's going to be the first person to recognize you.
Yeah.
As long as they don't say.
I got one question
well, if you did your custom, we only got probably like 20, 30 minutes left. So if you did your customs, and especially the 6 denim 6 customs you have done, you got to show them today. Because if you wore those, somebody will say in a nice way, "Yo, what are those? I want those."
All right. You guys want to see the 6 customs?
Here we go.
Go on, bro. Here we go. Because we've got 2 things you're going to show us. You're going to show us your little eBay, little venture into that pothole, dive into that pothole, and then we're going to see some very, very beautiful, beautiful customs. Look at those.
Yeah,
Look
and also
at those.
laced through the side of the shoe, which I thought was pretty cool. And
That
so
is crazy.
it's an asymmetrical paint cut. These are the denims. So these are the Jordan 6 denims. And then I bleached them first so you could still see. And I left if anybody knows us, like one of the things we like to do is we like to leave remnants of the original shoe. So in this case, I left the white, I left it looking like it's bleached jean on purpose. So, but
and you got kind of like a off-white dunk lacing system going on with those.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I mean, it was available. I didn't have to poke holes or anything. And actually, the reason why I did it was because the laces were too long, but I wanted to use them. So then I just thought, what can I do with the laces to make them shorter? And that was one of the things I thought of.
See, I feel if unfortunately R.I.P. to Virgil Abloh, sad to see him go, but if he was going to design a Jordan, going to put his hands on a Jordan 6, I think what he would have done I'll keep covering that. Hold on 2 seconds. So what he would have done would been to, you see those lace on the actual medial on the toe on the 6. He might have actually done what he did with the dunks with those 6s to actually invert, to put some kind of threading through that to make it actually what you've just basically done, is to thread it through those lower lace panels. So that's I think that could have been one of his inspirations. But the thing is, we don't know how Virgil did work, so that would have been kind of phenomenal to see. And you know what, it's sad that he's gone, because even though I'm not a person that will pick up off-whites. I haven't picked up any of the Jordan off-whites. My girlfriend has obviously got off-white 4s because she wants it, but for me personally, I've not got an off-white in my collection. But it doesn't mean I don't respect. It doesn't mean I'm not respectful for what he's actually put together, or how he design aspects, because it's still like a work of art in theory, to distress it, to come back and put different aspects to it, and it's still his idea and take on that design and that aspect of that sneaker. Not to my taste, but a lot of people love it and a lot of people want it. But it's very nice to see, and it would have been good to see him do maybe a 3 or a 6 or a 7 or a 8. Or a 14,
I
or
kind
a
of
12.
feel like we're still going to see them, because I feel like he probably had approval over it, but I don't think that he was doing the designs. So
yeah, he definitely has a team. It's a team effort.
But I heard something really interesting the other day, probably Saturday, that the Louis Vuitton off-white Nike Air Force One is the last off-white they're ever going to release. I think you might get a statement from Nike confirming that. I don't think we're going to get the bread 4s. I don't think we're going to get the the military blue off-white 4s. I don't think we're going to get anything else. I truly believe they are going to retire the off-white brand after this Louis Vuitton release. If Louis Vuitton do what Louis Vuitton's going to do with Virgil Abloh separately, that's a different matter. But I don't think we're going to see a lot of Nikes come out with off-white.
I mean, you never know. I mean, at the end of the day, people are not doing this for love; they're doing it for capitalism. So
yeah, exactly. You know
what I mean?
But for the time,
whoever now is running off-white, because it's an actual label, it's a brand. It's not going to go away.
Yep.
If they want to do a Nike collaboration, then they're going to do a Nike collaboration. So,
but the problem now becomes it's no longer anything going forwards. If it wasn't in his original plan, is not a Virgil inspired Off-White. It kind of goes away from the Off-White brand to somebody else's ideas and aspirations and designs rather than Virgil's, because it was always Virgil's kind of thought process for him to do the 2, for him to do the 4, for him to do the ones. That was his inspiration. That was his brainchild. So that it's from there to now. Okay, cool. They can replicate those features on the same silhouettes. But if he didn't touch the 6 and it's still called Off-White 6, but it's nothing to do with Virgil. It's to do with whoever's taken that mantle on from Virgil. So you can't really call it a Virgil-inspired Off-White. It's still part of the Off-White brand, but will it have the same impact knowing that Virgil's not done it?
At the end of the day, to me, it's about I like stories. Don't get me wrong, but if I like an Off-White, I'll buy it. If I don't like it, I won't buy it. I mean, who's the designer between Alma and Yer? Who's that guy? Like, what's his name?
James Whitner.
Yeah.
Or is it James Whitner?
That's what I'm saying. Do you like? But I'm telling you, like, you may know that Q, and maybe you do know that too, TJ. I didn't know that, but I would 100% buy an Alma and Yer 3 because I think they're dope. So I mean, at the end of the day, like, I get the whole Virgil thing, and of course, Virgil rest in peace.
It's James Whitner.
But like, if you like a shoe, buy a shoe. If you don't. I mean, people are still like fucking going crazy over the Travis Scotts, and he's an asshole. So, you know what I mean? So I mean, like, technically, the shoes should be canceled along with him, but they're not.
Nah, the controversy. I think the controversy adds to the hype.
Maybe.
And going, like, let's kind of be really, really honest here. Like, this year we didn't see any. This year we've seen Union 2s, we've seen J Balvin 2s, we're seeing Alma Manier 2s. There's no real, except for J Balvin, there's no real like celebrity that's taken. There's no Travis that can rely on at this moment because he's put on ice. There's no Virgil because Virgil, fortunately, rest in peace for Virgil, but he's passed away. So when we're looking at what's happening currently in this state of play, like I think we're seeing Jordan and Nike push DJ Khaled a bit more. So he's been like, if you've seen over the last couple of months, even where he was always doing that still, right? But now you're seeing more engagement with Jordan Brand, with Khaled. Now you're seeing it on social media. Now you're seeing him with Kanye West. Now you're seeing Kanye West post stuff with Jordan. So there is replacements. Unfortunately to say that, but there is replacements. It feels like the step up is now DJ Khaled. The step up is now getting that hype behind Jordan Brand and Kanye. And it's always, and if it wasn't there, it'll be somebody in that place, because there's always going to be the next step up, the next person that comes in. So yeah, I feel that's what's happening. And that whole situation we saw this weekend with Kanye posting that Jordan Brand, I think that's an absolute troll. Unless what I said a year ago is true, which he's actually going to do a re-collaboration with Nike, with his Yeezy brand, and with the Yeezy one with the 350s. And that's the only way I can see that ever happening. But we'll see. But I'd say, let's go and deep dive into your eBay history.
If we can be graced.
Exactly, and if you can be graced. And I'm telling you, it's no longer a shoe dog. It is literally going to be steals and deals
with Camdalf.
I want to take you back to 2020, and I'll work our way up. How about that?
2020.
At the end of the history, at the end of your history, I'm going to give you 3 questions. One of them is going to be, what is the best ever deal you got? What's the best sneaker cop you got? And what is the worst deal you actually walked away from? So 3 questions for you, Cam.
Okay,
think about it.
3 questions again.
So what's the kind of best flip, like in terms of you got this much and you flip for this much, but the cheapest and the best flip. That's number one. Number
Well,
two,
I actually already told it. It was the $50.99 Jordan 5 Metallics.
okay. So you got two
$50
questions.
500. 1,000% profit. 1,000% profit.
Sheesh. So the next question would have to be after you think about these two questions is after we go through deep dive through a little bit of your eBay history is to work out what your best cop is in terms of VNDS, in terms of what you sit there out of all the time you've been doing this is I can't believe I got this pair, and wow, I didn't believe the price point. And then number two is what's the worst one? Like literally, oh shit.
Like a oh shit.
It's like oh shit moment, like. Right, cool. Go on, Cam.
Okay.
Take it away from us.
Of course, it's old enough where the pictures are gone. But do you know what these are?
Yes.
All right. So do you know what these are, TJ?
Yep, wings fleck. Yeah.
All right. So
you can pull up the picture. You can pull this up for anybody that's
Jordan
watching.
1 wings. It is the shoe right here.
I just saw, I can't remember who it was. Somebody was wearing the Jordan 12 wings that had that same style.
Yeah. The Jordan 12 wings is something that needs to be retro.
That is so fucking dope right there.
So this shoe right here.
Is it the wing, the one thing is it the black panel you scratch away and it comes through with that like kind of the Jordan 12 wings? I mean that comes through with the patterning. Let me just Google it. I might be getting my mixed up here.
The 12s actually have like a wing graphic on it.
Yeah.
All right, so 115.
115. And what's the quality VNDS?
Yes.
Yeah.
OG
so,
all too.
Is exactly
OG all dust bag.
Right. That's the right one.
So see that little rustic thing comes through once you actually scratch the panels off. Yeah, they need to be retro that. They need to be retro those wings.
Right, and then of course these are shoes I flipped. Like I bought a pair. This is before they re-released, but I bought a pair of Raging Bull red suede. I had to do a re-dye, and I sold them for $250. These homage to homes are actually still outside of my garage. I need to restore them.
Hold on. Cam. Wind it back. $88.
That's 11.5 too. Might be.
Okay, well I'll restore them for you. All right, they're still in my garage. Let's see here. Oh, these are cool. So, if you guys know this, there's this is back when the Jordan or the LeBron 11 release came out, which I believe is like 2013, 2014. So they had a gumbo version of the shoes to represent the All-Star game. So there's a gumbo KD6 and there's a gumbo LeBron 11. I got the gumbo KD6s for $40. Sports Illustrated. So this is A Star Is Born.
Yeah,
$51. Jordan 1 Joker, if you know the mids, $85.
Yeah.
85?
Yeah, they're dope too.
Good Lord.
Oh, this was a cool one. I actually got the entire pack for $200. The Jordan 1.
How much that retail
it's
for?
It's not a DMP. It was actually the old school, new school. The defining moments pack is what it's called. So that's what the DMP stands for. So I got that whole pack for $200 with box, which I flipped. All right, let's go back. All right, we're working our way back from 2000 or from 2020. So we're going from the bottom up. Oh, there's a good one. Can't wait to get to those. All right, so from there I actually flipped these. Do you see this? I got a pair of PST 5s and 11.5 for $80.
Bro.
I didn't know you. I didn't know you then. This is January 2020.
Who's got a time machine? I need to go back. First of all, I need to go back and get that for retail. But I need to go back and see you.
Right. By the way, okay, and check this out. I got the Jordan 1 Laser 30th anniversaries for $35.
35.
Jordan 5 Quad 54s. I finally sold these. It took a long time to sell them because they're kind of like a a collector shoe as opposed to a rock everyday shoe.
The black and green.
No, the white with the neon highlights. They're the Quad 54 Jordan 5.
The first
original
Jordan
release.
5.
The original release, $96.
Wow.
Don't really care about AJKOs. Jordan 1 Mid Hulks. If you guys know those, they're like one of my favorite mids.
I've seen them.
They sell for about $150. I picked them up for $30. You ready for this one? Dave White, size 11, $47.
I will be buying that shoe.
Hold on.
But the reason why they're $47 is because there's heel drag and I had to repaint the shoe. Yeah, that shoe for $47. Yep.
This shoe.
47.
Yeah.
These ended up being fake.
Oh yeah, I remember you told us about those.
Yeah.
Space Jams. Those ended up being fake. 2000. These are in my collection. I have 2016 Space Jams for $70.
Wow.
Those are up in my closet.
Wow.
Yeezy Butters, which I ended up I either sold them or traded them. I can't remember, but I paid $150 for Yeezy Butters in mint condition. There we go. Check it out. Do the Right Things, metallic, and they weren't beat, by the way. They just needed to be remolded. Like $60.
$60.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
Look, and then you know what? This is the polar opposite of reselling. This is the polar opposite of Diaz. If you want to anybody wants to take inspiration off this, they should, because there is deals. I don't think the state of play in the UK is the same as in the States, but there is deals and steals to be had in VNDS. If you don't mind wearing somebody else's sneaker that they probably drop for 2 or 3 times at the most sometimes.
Yeah,
there's worth
some of these are like
there.
restores though. Like these Lands Mountains, I've never gotten to. They're in my garage. They need to be they actually need to be repainted. Then they needed to be repainted black, and then you need to remove the black to then recreate the concept of them, because even the paint on them is bad. Like the underpaint is bad. All right, guys. What do you think of this one?
Is that 114?
That is 114 for
2001
breads.
We get all the sounds out here.
$114 for a pair of bread OGs.
And let's just say this.
Stop sharing my screen for a second. That's this shoe.
Yep.
This shoe right here. I'm holding it.
You can't touch Cam.
$114. I'm holding it in my hand right now. 114. I have rocked these shoes more than once. So
yeah, you got to, man. You got
I love
to.
it.
Oh my God!
If y'all don't own 2001s, you need to.
Wait, man. We're not doing this no more. We're not doing this no more.
I'm not done though. I'm not done. How about a pair of 2001 Royals for $90?
Cam.
Yo, and I told you guys. Forget the how. Forget the how. Forget the shoe dog how. We need a dragon for Cam.
It may not be as hard to believe for you, but that's your eBay history is hard to fathom. That's why you are a Camdalf. That's why you are Shinron, the shoe dragon. Like, because bro, ain't nobody
100%.
got a history. Anybody that has a history like that probably doesn't do what you do with the shoes. But the fact that your collection is so stupid based on the way you cop and the steals that you find and the filters that you have and everything that makes up your eBay history It's ridiculous, bro. I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys, we're not even touching the surface of what Cam's accomplished in his sneaker career at this moment in time. If Cam was to retire at this moment in time, I would see he's probably the king of what he does at this moment in time. I'm not even joking. I'm not because it's not because he's the bro. I'm legitimately telling you, I've not seen anybody do it better than Cam in my life.
Y'all see what's in his background. Y'all see it. Y'all see on either side. On one side, you got multiples that I mean a lot of us won't own. But then on the other side, you got a shoe that you probably got a 1 in 100, 200,000 chance of even getting close to.
And we started this conversation about talking about your favorite color, orange, and the fact that it's really limited. So, how many Shattered Backboard 1.0s have you touched in your life, bro?
How many Shattered Backboard 1.0s? 2.
Yep.
2.
Right. So
2.
how cheap were they?
I paid. Actually, I'll show them to you because they're in here. If we get to it. I think I bought them in 2020.
And you're the only one I could say that has pretty much got old bread colorways.
Yeah, I did sell my 2009s. I don't have 94s and I don't have 85s. So Barons for 150, that's pretty good.
That's great.
Letterman's for 48.
What?
Yep. If you don't know what the Lettermans look like, there is. What was it? Orange? Was it orange?
It's like a red orange and
48, bro.
And a metallic navy blue.
You can't even find that shoe.
I love it. Such a dope shoe. Very underrated. Oh, the Jordan 2 of the Dunk. You know, like are you guys familiar with the Jordan Pack Dunk, where they came out with a range of dunks in like 2000
the J Pack.
The J Pack. So I have the 2s, the J Pack 2s, and I paid $34 for
them. Let's wind this back. Can't touch it.
All right.
Can't touch this.
All right, here we go. We're gonna get into some crazy stuff here. I got these. Actually, that's this shoe, TJ. This is the mistake shoe. The $38. That's what this is.
Well, it's
the
go on. You need to tell us a story about that quickly before.
All right,
before we move on.
so white flips. If you see them, they're like perfect, right? So I bought these for 38. The midsoles were all cracked. The paint was bad. The heel tab was yellow. The black was gone. The silver was gone. So what I did was I bought these shoes and I repainted them and they were perfect. They look just like this. And I only have one of them now because I saw a YouTube video where a person used Flex Seal, but with a paintbrush, like out of a paint can, to seal the shoe. And I was thinking like, oh my God, that's genius. Like the shoe will look perfect forever because it's got Flex Seal on it. So I went into my garage and I had clear Flex Seal, but I had it in a spray paint can. And I went to go spray the other shoe. And so yeah, don't do that because you can't control how the spray comes out of the can. And it caked up on the shoe, like in the back, and it caked up on the shoe, and it was sticky. I'd never used Flex Seal before, and it was super sticky. So then I went and I took a cloth and I was rubbing off the Flex Seal, and it took all the paint with it, and it didn't come off completely. So now I have one Jordan 3 flip in mint condition, perfect condition. And the other one, and I display it right here on my desk. But the other one ended up in a trash can.
You should have seriously kept that for a showpiece because that's a great story, bro. And you know what, the essence of ever doing anything in life is making a mistake and learning from it, and that is a prime example of making a mistake and learning from it and not to do it again.
Yeah, no doubt. So going back to it, the red elephant print Jordan 1s, they have a white, a black, and a red. $40.
Nice.
These are not the ones you saw. the ones that you saw were already bleached when I got them, and I bleached them a little bit more. But these I bought brand new dead stock, so I have a pair of. It's the one I show you where I have one bleached and one still.
Yeah.
So that's the 119. Of course, I got some random stuff like I bought Legos for my kids. Oh, ready? Blue Lagoon Gatorade Jordan 1s, $68. This is a kick. This was killer, dude. Ready? Jordan 1 2013 Breads 162.
Damn.
Can you believe that?
Damn.
Oh, this one was awesome too. Look at this. Oh, this never went through. This was the sale got canceled. Oh, here's my 2009 Shadows, 99.97. Which, by the way, I cleaned and they look amazing. Here's my NYC to Paris, 110. And
Oh damn!
Leroy Smith's 85 VNDS.
And one of the most important things that Cam normally says or normally says is why buy sneakers for resale or resale when you can go back in history in the archives and get a sneaker that is awesome for
in the crates.
Yeah, and I use that on my Instagram where I put it to a vote, and of course the vote went towards the Crimsons. But I was like, why? Like, what shoe do you prefer? Do you prefer the 11 Lab 4 Jordan 4, or do you prefer the Red Thunder or the Crimsons?
Give me the Lab any day.
Yeah, and I showed that on StockX right now, the price of the 11 Lab 4 is like $5 more than the price of the Crimsons. So if you're gonna pay resale, why not buy like an actual cool, amazing sneaker?
Yep.
Then buy the one that and like for someone like you, if you're gonna pay resale and then you're not gonna wear them, so you're not cloned and you're not looking like everybody else, then if you're gonna pay resale, you should be buying a sneaker from a year ago or 2 years ago instead.
Yep.
100%. Trying to get people to do that way. So I have to restore these, but they are 100% VNDS. But of course, the sole, like if I wore them today, they would just crack. But you can't see any cracking. So I have burgundies. I have Jordan 5 burgundies I got for 102. OG all. Crimson. Hyper Crimsons 117.
We were just talking about that shoe.
Yep.
Another pair of Hyper Crimsons like 4 days later for 90.
$90 for a Hyper Crimson right now is crazy.
Your history is making me and Q just say.
All right.
Cool. All right. Cam, I think that's enough deep diving for this time being, because we are going to go and answer those two questions because you might come across them in a bit. What is the one of the most like amazing, like unbelievable VNDS cops you've ever done? You might want to show us all three.
Okay, so VNDS cop that I've ever done. I mean, I to me, it's the one that I show all the time, and I'll unshare my screen.
Tell us a bit about that sneaker, bro. If
So
people
do not know, this is the Jordan 5 Bin 23. There was only 2,133 pairs of this sneaker in existence. These are size 14s. They distribute shoes on a bell curve, which means anything in the low size, like a 7, to a high size, like a 14, is going to be the lowest amount produced, where if you get into a 9 or a 10, you're going to have the max. So bell curve, right?
There might be 50 of that shoe.
Yeah, there might be like 50 total of this shoe. It was an eBay auction. It started at $5.99. I've never spent $5.99 on a shoe in my life, and I just followed it. Like I one of my techniques is you don't ever bid, you just follow.
Yeah.
And then 15 minutes before the auction ended, it was still at $5.99. So I bid on it because I couldn't not bid on it, and I got it for $5.99 because nobody else bid, and the guy shipped them to me. So.
And how much is the price at the moment, bro?
Okay, so currently the price on StockX for this shoe, there's one on StockX and it's $5,000.
$5,000 shoe.
Yeah.
Damn.
Let's see here. Jordan.
$5,000 shoe for $600.
So I'm gonna say this. Right. So, bro, if you, and I know you'll never get rid of this, but if you was to go and put that for $2,000 to $3,000 on eBay, knowing that it's VNDS, is that VNDS, right?
Oh yeah, it's to be honest, it could be DS, but I can't say it's VNDS or DS because I don't know. But there's no sign of wear on the shoe right now.
So if you was to put that for $3,000, you just basically got £2,400 profit on a sneaker that you bought for £600. Like, and you're never gonna get rid of that because bro, that sneaker is probably one of the hardest sneakers to cop. That is like a unicorn, bro. That is like a unicorn sneaker, hard to get, and like that hunt paid off. That hunt definitely paid off.
A legit
That
grill.
hunt definitely paid off, bro.
A legit grill right there.
It really is a legit grill. And the thing about it, I was actually talking to my wife about this the other night, and here it is. This is currently StockX size 14. You can see it. Even the last sale was 1,400. You can't actually price this shoe. You literally should not be able to price this shoe. So like, if I said what is a cool gray 11 worth, you can go to StockX and you could actually see a history of all the sales associated with a shoe, right? And you would say, okay, cool. There's 400 sales and it's averaging between.
When did that come out? When did it been?
This shoe's a 2011.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 2011.
So it's 11 years old. You need to get some wear into that, just in case that sole blows out.
I know. Well, if it does blow out, what do we do, TJ?
Sole swap.
Sole swap it. That's right, because we know how to do that stuff. All right. So, anyways, the reason why I'm mentioning it is, so if I go to like any type of shoe, like let's go to an Ama Maniere like right now. So we'll do now. Notice the history on this because this is important. There's two sales, and both of them were in 2017. There hasn't been any sales since 2017, and there's only one shoe available. Like, so if you actually go on your phone, it'll say like one shoe available in the app. Okay, so now I go to like an Ama Maniere, and I pull up the 3, right? And I'll go to a same. I'll go to size 14, which is the 15 and a half, right? And I'll look at all the sales. And
a lot of sales.
You got history.
The idea is like this shoe has the capability of being priced, of being valuated, right?
You can average it.
Right. You can average it. You can say, like, if I just look at January, the January valuation for the shoe is probably about 600 because they got some in the 700 range, some in the 500 range. So 650 would probably be the valuation. And that's just because it sold that many times in January. But if you look, last 3 months, whatever, so I can price the shoe. You can't price the bin 23. It is worth whatever somebody is willing to pay for it. That's it.
Exactly.
The only equivalent you're ever going to get to that is if in 11 years' time there's only one of those Ama Maniere 3s left, and it's not been sold over the last 3 years, then you can't put a price to it.
And it can't because they produce too many. That's the whole point. So like the Ama Maniere is still a sought after. It is considered a rare shoe because it was released from a boutique location, right? So I don't know how many of this shoe exists, but clearly there's enough of them that exist to see that sale history, right? There's 2,133 bin 23s, period. There's less if you go to the Jordan 8. There's like 1,700 of those or something. So that you can't. The only way that you could value it is if you went out to people and said, like, what are you willing to pay for this? And you did that to enough sneaker stores, like 100, where everybody offered this amount, so this is what people worth. Otherwise, if I find someone that wants these shoes and is willing to pay for them, they may pay $5,000, they may pay $4,000. So, or they may not pay more than 600, and I got them for what they're worth. Who knows?
Yeah. And this is when you get to the the M&N4 categories, because like being a friends and family, you could probably say those bin 23s is like a friends and family. It is so rare to pick them up that you would need to be connected to actually get a sneaker that tough. That hands down is a grail. That me and Q can sit here and say that sneaker is probably on par or even better than the original Black Metallic Fives.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it.
Yeah, as far as fives go, that would be like, I know there's the trophy rooms, there's the premium and all that, but nah, bro, that is, and I love, y'all know I will go on and on about the Black Metallic 5. It's my favorite sneaker. That shoe is the only shoe that trumps the Black Metallic 5 for me. And it's appropriate because it's based on the Black 5. It has the white laces.
Exactly.
And it's the only shoe that you could probably soul swap with
the Black Metallic 5.
The Black Metallic as it is.
It is literally a black. It is the Black Metallic 5 sole.
Right. It has the red Jumpman. There are other 5s. You can do the fire red, that has the red Jumpman. But as is, you could take a Black Metallic and soul swap that one if you needed to. And that the leather on that shoe is going to be good for a long time.
If you read about the shoe, it is literally Italian leather.
Right. Yeah. So the only thing that you would have to do with that shoe is soul swapping. Any Jordan 5 that comes out with the ice bottom and a red Jumpman on the bottom, you can swap with that shoe, and hopefully you know how to paint.
Well, the thing is like if you do soul swaps, the whole point of a soul swap, and this is an example, by the way. So this will be an example of a shoe that I will never find the equivalent color sole to be able to swap with this. So what you do is you take the actual sole and keep it, because this is where the green comes in, right? This is the only thing that you need to maintain the integrity of the original shoe. Right. This part you can get from any shoe that you want because this is the painted part.
Right.
So that's what you do when you sole swap. You take the upper off, you take the sole off, and then you replace the midsole, and the midsole, it could be any color you want it to be.
Yeah.
So
with 5s. With 5s and
4s and 3s.
Yeah.
2s. I mean, really any
11s.
Shoe, yeah, really any shoe, because they're all broken down into modular pieces where part of the shoe is rubber, part of the shoe is foam, and then you have the upper.
Yeah, and you can't paint that rubber; it won't hold.
No,
you can only hope to dye a clear sole, maybe, but trying to change the color on a rubber is not happening.
No, and that's actually the reason why the Dave Whites need to be kept up with paint, because the Dave Whites are actually painted black on the toe. That's how the black happens.
So you can already see with some of the Dave Whites, you can see the
it fades to white. It scratches to white.
There you go. There's
Yep.
So on the separate last question before we stop this amazing podcast, is what was the holy shit? Oh my god! What did I just buy? Oh damn! I just got absolutely ripped off here. Like hell no!
It's happened to me so many times, but fortunately, fortunately, I'm very good at like returning stuff, right?
Yep.
But I bought, just even this year, before I bought the bins, I ran into 2 deals that were like unheard of, and it was, the first one were Travis Scott fragment lows for $6. So I bought them, and then I got them home, and I authenticated them, and then I actually also used an authentication app, and I believe they were fake. The app, of course, believed they were fake. So then I had to go through the whole thing about proving to the Makaris where I bought them. I had to prove to Makari that they were fake, which wasn't that hard, and then I got my money back. Then maybe like a week later, I bought a pair of Travis Scott Mocha Lows for $600, and I wanted them to be real so bad. Like, they fit well, the material was great. Like, I was like, oh man, these have to be. But the one thing that got me, if you're familiar with fake Jordan 1s, is the back of the tongue tag where it has the trademark and the qualite and all that stuff. Fakes, and I don't know why this is, but it's almost guaranteed always going to happen. There's like a wave to the top of the text. So
Right.
like the letters will shorten and elongate, but then if you have a
And
real one,
you showed me that
it's
as well.
great.
You showed me that as well.
So
And you could
so
see
that
you
was
could
the
see
only
it.
thing, and I was like, maybe my eyes are deceiving me. So I got them authenticated, and of course they were fake. So I had to return those. But that's like $1,200 in fake shoes in like a week
Yeah,
I had to go back on. But
this comes to my point where I've always said this, and I always will train this. I will never ever buy a Travis Scott Mocha 1 high or a low at this point in time ever in my life, because I know those fakes are actually so good that they pass the legit check.
Yeah.
And I know, well, there's rumors, allegedly there's rumors that 1,000 of those fake pairs went through StockX when they originally kind of came out with those Mocha ones.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm walking away. I missed out and I'm walking away, because I'm not going to buy a pair of sneakers. And this is when you come into like picking up DS sneakers, I would always make sure it's either on the release date or either a couple of days between the release date or the restocks, to actually check them. But if you do have to pay that resale, do your due diligence. Make sure you check it. Get the black light in. Make sure you check it. And even if you need to use one of the like the check apps to actually do it, just do it. Just peace of mind. Make sure it's legit. Make sure you're getting a pair. But there's also been cases where some people grab real pairs, swapped them out at home for fake pairs, sent them back, and actually got the fake prices because it's really cheap. So you don't want to be sucker punched into that. So yeah, and as I said, and I just want to touch on that point quickly, because like that's a big problem. That's a big problem.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned from Cam since I've known him, especially now that I have bought a couple more pairs of VNDS. If I miss a release, unless it's a release that I really want, I'll save my money and go back and buy something VNDS that I want as bad, if not more, than the shoe that I took the L on.
And let's be honest, the UA companies out there, the first month or two is going to be hard for them to replicate that sneaker. But once they get that sneaker in hand, they've got it.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yeah, but part of the lesson of becoming like the shoe dragon is, if you want to win big, you have to be able to be willing to lose big.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you can't cop shoes
100%.
at a fraction of what they're worth unless you're willing to buy fake shoes, determine they're fake, and then go through the process of returning them.
Exactly. And that's one of the important things is when we say you are the historian, you are the Gandalf, you are the power and knowledge of VNDSs as we know it at this moment in time. The reason why we say that is because you have the knowledge and the experience to legit check a sneaker, to see what's safe for you, to see, this doesn't look right. And I've got some experience. Obviously, when you pick up sneakers from like resellers or restocks or StockX or whatever company you use, you have to legit check it. You can't trust it on the basis, so you legit check it. So when we had that conversation in our group, when somebody put in the Dawnbecker 4s with the Superman, it looked off straight off the bat to me, and like you can identify certain things here and there, and you're like, that doesn't look right to me, so you go and check it. And there's loads of information online to go and check these pairs and to kind of legit check them. So yeah, you have to get your knowledge base up, and knowledge is always power. You have to get your knowledge base up, you have to get your experience up, to work out what you got in hand is not a sucker punch from a person that's actually trying to give you a UA or a fake. So yeah, it's important to actually get that knowledge base. It's important to actually know what you're doing and maneuver. But like I say, you learn with experience. You always learn with experience. You might buy it in, it might look fake, you might legit check it might be fake, and you send it back. But you've gone through the experience, you learn through the experience. And there's always telltale marks. There's always telltale marks on these pairs. But unfortunately, currently, with all the quality issues we're going through, some even legit pairs look fake. So yeah.
let's we're gonna save that for another show. Cam, it has been great to have you on the Shoe Dog podcast. This will hopefully not be your last time on the podcast.
Yeah,
so much information wealth of knowledge that you have, and you definitely are an inspiration to I know myself and TJ as well as some of the other bros from the group. The
100%.
fact that you have acquired the type of collection that you have, the way you have, it's unheard of, man. And
Yep.
I appreciate you. I know TJ appreciates you a lot. We have
100%.
both received W's from you, and you just Cam actually just put something in my DM last night that I'm still debating over. And,
It's funny. I did it to TJ too, by the way.
Yeah. Black metallic pipes. Yeah, bro. Every time I see an email from a message from Cam, it's like, "Here you go." Here you go.
Yeah, man. Look, we're running towards them VNDSs, man. 2022. I know I am.
Yeah,
I'm running towards them.
I think this is just the introduction into Cam, and he'll be on way more. Like, we will break down subjects, and this live's been about 2 hours and 15 minutes. It was supposed to be an hour and a half, but the wealth of knowledge and experience and the fun that we have just talking it feels like a normal conversation over the phone, and it's supposed to be like that. But I'm pretty sure, Cam, you'll be back talking to us about different.
I would love to, man.
And
I would love to.
And we haven't even touched customs. We have not touched customs.
No, that's when you come back, we have to do a deep dive into the customs as well with TJ, because I know y'all both do great work. So I can't wait. I can't wait to get into that too.
All right, Q. Do you want to wind us down, and we'll say bye?
As my partner TJ would say, hope y'all have a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year, and hopefully all y'all can cop the VNDSs that you like, because you deserve the VNDSs that you want. You know,
exactly that. Exactly that. Peace. Peace out, guys.